You literally can't go anywhere without hearing about generative AI, right? It's the biggest tech shift we've seen in years, and companies are pouring billions into it. But here's the thing. There's a critical factor, one that's usually hidden behind all the hype, that will absolutely make or break every single one of these projects. Today, we're going to break down why data quality is the one thing you just can't compromise on in this new AI era.
All right, so first things first, let's get on the same page. When we talk about generative AI, we're talking about this incredible technology that learns patterns from massive amounts of data, and then it uses that knowledge to create brand new stuff. Like the text you get from a chatbot like ChatGPT, or a mind-blowing image that comes from just a few words you type in. And this is way more than just a cool experiment. It's a full-on business revolution. Seriously, organizations all over the world are scrambling to get in on this. They're not just using it off the shelf. They're taking this technology and making it their own by plugging it into their unique internal data. So we're seeing this play out in a few different ways. Some companies are fine-tuning those huge models like GPT with their own private info. Others are using a really clever technique called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short. Think of it like giving the AI an open book test. It connects the model to a company's live internal knowledge base so it can pull in the latest, most relevant facts to give you a perfect answer. And some are even building their own smaller, super efficient models for very specific jobs. And this just shows you how far-reaching it is. It's popping up everywhere. You see it in customer service with automated chatbots that actually help. In finance, it's spitting out reports and summaries in seconds. In the legal field, it's helping draft and review contracts. Heck, even in IT, it's helping developers write better code. It's truly spreading like wildfire across every industry you can think of. But, and this is a big but, here's where the story takes a sharp turn. With all of this money, all of this excitement, there's a pretty startling statistic that points to a massive problem hiding just under the surface of this whole AI gold rush. So what is it? What's the hidden snag? What's the one thing that's causing so many of these promising, expensive, and really high-stakes AI projects to to fall flat on their face before they even get going? Well, here it is, a pretty jaw-dropping prediction from Gartner. Nearly 1 out of every 3 generative AI projects will just be abandoned. Think about that. All that time, all that money, gone. And look at the very first reason they give for this huge failure rate. Poor data quality. It comes before costs, before risk, before everything else. And that is the culprit we really need to dig into. So let's really break this down. What does bad data even mean in this context? Why is it so toxic for a technology that's supposed to be so incredibly smart? See, bad data isn't just one thing. It's a whole cocktail of poisons for your AI. You're talking about stuff like duplicate records that completely skew the model's understanding, outdated information that makes its answers useless, or maybe it's just missing values and a total lack of context, which makes it impossible for the AI to see the real picture. Look, it really boils down to this. The stakes could not be higher. If you feed an AI low-quality data, you are absolutely guaranteed to get biased, inaccurate, and completely untrustworthy results. It's that classic saying, garbage in, garbage out. But now it's on a massive, enterprise-wide scale. If you want that effective, reliable AI that everyone's dreaming of, you absolutely must start with high-quality data. So if bad data is the enemy, what's the solution? Well, the answer isn't to just clean up your data once and call it a day. No way. It requires a much deeper shift in how we think about and manage data, a process that's continuous and automated, built for this new AI world. And this is where a concept called data ops enters the picture. The best way to think about it is as the central nervous system for all your data. It provides the backbone, the infrastructure, the processes, everything you need to make sure the data pipelines feeding your AI are always clean, always reliable, and always ready to go. So how does it actually do this? Well, at its heart, data ops is all about automating 3 absolutely crucial things. First, it automates the orchestration, that's the complex flow of data from all your different sources. Second, it automates testing, so it's constantly validating the quality of that data. And third, it automates monitoring, so it can catch any issues or strange shifts in the data over time. Okay, that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in the real world, inside a real AI project? Let's walk through a typical pipeline and see exactly where these data ops principles kick in to keep things on track. Everything kicks off right at the beginning,
at the model training stage. This is the heavy lifting up front. Data gets collected, and then it gets profiled, which is a fancy way of saying it's automatically analyzed to hunt down any errors or weird outliers. Then it's cleaned and scrubbed. And finally, every last piece of data is validated against quality rules. This ensures the model learns from the cleanest, best data possible, building a solid foundation from day one.
But the work is not done once the model is launched. In fact, it's really just getting started. This isn't a set it and forget it kind of deal. This is where continuous quality management comes in. New data is constantly and automatically checked. The AI's own answers are validated against business logic. And the system is always on the lookout for something called data drift. You know, those subtle, real-world changes in data that can slowly make a model dumber over time. It creates this constant feedback loop that keeps the AI sharp, relevant, and reliable. So, we've looked at the hype, we've looked at the risk, and we've looked at the solution. What's the one big takeaway here? What's the core principle that's going to separate the winners from the losers in this new age of AI? It's this simple. It's this profound. You cannot have trustworthy AI without trustworthy data. Full stop. The intelligence, the reliability, the ultimate success of every single generative AI model you build is going to be a direct reflection of the quality of the data you feed it. It is, without a doubt, the single most important factor. And that brings us to the final, really critical question that every business leader, every developer, and every data professional needs to be asking themselves. We all know that AI is only as smart as its data. So as you race to build the future, are you building a future that can actually be trusted?
For further questions, feel free to reach contact@datagaps.com. Scan the below QR code for free demo. Thank you.